Okay, so first things first, I'm sure that you actually just recognize right now that your sheet looks a little bit different than mine. Maybe I'll actually update yours in the near future, but you actually see that, hey, you know what, mine actually does have these unit conversions over here, so I'll just actually be referring to these as we're going through these problems. The first problem and the third problem, we're going to do these together. And then the second problem and the fourth problem, I'm going to invite that you do those on your own. So let's start with the first problem over here, which is 50 kilograms. And once again, we're actually going to be going from kilograms to number of pounds. So the very first thing is we're just going to write this out like this, just writing down our 50 kilograms. We could do the division of 1 over here as well. And so we want to go from kilograms to number of pounds. So none of these first facts over here give us what we want. So we do have kilograms over here, and we do have number of pounds. And if we actually just remember this over here, we do have 1,000 grams is equal to 1 kilogram. But if we're going to go from kilograms to number of pounds, would we rather use this fact or this fact over here? And once again, just kind of just going through these other ones and just saying, hey, you know what? None of those actually have to do with kilograms either. So none of those actually will help us out doing this problem. But which one of these two would it make sense for us to actually use? Hopefully by now you're actually saying this one because we're actually going from kilograms to number of pounds. So we will be using this fact to help us out. So on the top over here, we do have kilograms, and so therefore on the bottom, we want kilograms to help us out with this unit cancellation. And how many kilograms is it? Well, it's 1 kilogram is equal to 2.2 pounds. Okay, so our units will cancel out. We're trying to get our pounds, and we have pounds over here, so therefore that's the indicator to us that we're done with this problem. And once we actually get this into our calculator, we do 50 times the 2.2 pounds, and we'll get 110 pounds. And once again, it's basically just telling us that 50 kilograms is equal to 110 pounds. If you notice over here, I actually do have the answers and I give them to you. And you might be saying to yourself, hey, wait a minute, why are you giving us the answers to these problems? And the entire point of this is to actually see how you get to the answer. Not the idea that, hey, you know what, you could actually just point this to this and be like, hey, you know what, that's my answer. And hey, that's my answer and that's my answer. No, it's how do you get to that answer? And this is a very common practice where in the back of your textbooks, I'm not sure if kids these days actually do have textbooks anymore. I know that a lot of things are actually online, but a lot of the times answers are given to you in all of your other different subjects. So for me to actually be giving you the answers here, it's, hey, you know what? How did you get to it? Were you able to plug these two numbers into the calculator and actually get the idea that's 110 pounds? And hopefully you're saying to yourself, yes. Okay, so once again, I am going to actually invite you to do this on your own, but I'm just going to jump ahead and actually go to problem number 3 right now. So we have 0.25 kilograms, and we're going to be multiplying this by, hey, you know what, right off the bat, I already know that I want to be canceling out our kilograms. So we have kilograms down here. I already know that that's going to be the case because the entire point of this is to actually be canceling out our units. So we want to be going from kilograms to number of grams. And once again, when we go through our facts over here, we do see that, hey, we have kilograms over here. And once again, the idea that 1,000 grams is equal to 1 kilogram. So we have kilograms over here as well. And none of these other facts actually have to do with kilograms. So does it make sense for us to actually use this one or this one right here? So hopefully by now you're actually saying, hey, you know what? It does have to do with kilograms and grams. And the idea is that we convert this to number of grams. So how many kilograms is it? It's 1 kilogram is equal to what? 1,000 grams. Our units will cancel it out. We're going from kilograms to grams, and we actually have grams over here indicating to us that we're done with this problem. When we plug this in the calculator, we do 0.25 times 1,000, and once again, plug this in the calculator. Make sure that you actually get this answer, not just looking over here and saying, oh, I got it. No, plug this in the calculator. Make sure you get 250 grams, and that's going to be the best way for you to practice this. So 0.25 times 1,000, and we will get the idea that that's equal to 250. And what are the units? It's grams. All right, so once again, just pause this video and try to do problems 2 and 4 by yourself, and unpause this the video, and we'll do these problems together to make sure that you got them right. And for you to check to see that you got it right, hopefully you plug it into the calculator and get these answers. So pause this video now, and in a second we'll actually come back here and continue this video. Okay, so hopefully you actually did pause the video, you tried it out on your own. I'm just going to go through these two problems right now, and we have 100 feet. Well, let's first erase this. So we have 100 feet multiplied by our unit conversion. And we already know that we want feet down here in the bottom for the cancellation. And which one of these has to do with feet? We want to go from feet to meters. Let's keep that in mind. So we have feet over here, feet over here, feet over here, feet over here. But only one of these actually has to do with meters, and that's this one over here. We could say to ourselves, hey, you know what? I don't even need to check the rest of these over here because we already have feet and meters. That's a good indicator to us that we have our fact that we're going to be using. So how many feet is it? Oh, it's 3.28 feet is equal to what? Oh, that's equal to 1 meter. So we're going to do our cancellations over here. We have feet canceling out the feet over here, and we're going from feet to meters, and we have meters on the top over here, indicating to us, hey, you know what? We're done with this problem. All we have to do is plug this in the calculator and make sure that we get our answer. So we do, in the calculator, once again, 100 times 1. Well, you don't really need to do that, and divide that by the 3.28, and that's the way you plug it into the calculator. Once again, I'm just using the parentheses to explicitly define that it just helps us out defining that that's what we want in our calculator. So when we do this, we actually do get our 30.5 meters. And once again, our 30.5 meters is equal to our 100 feet, and that's what that means. Okay, so hopefully you got that. If not, that's okay. And let's just go into the next problem. So ideally by now, these concepts are actually getting more and more clear to you. If they're not, I would actually just go back and actually rewatch this video as well as the previous video and just make sure that these concepts are clicking, because once again, these problems will get more complex, and it's very important that you actually do understand the basics before moving on to those problems. All right, so without further ado, let's actually go into the next problem, which is 8,900 millimeters times our conversion factor, and we already know that we're going to be wanting to cancel out our millimeters, so therefore we want the millimeters on the bottom like that. And which one of these actually has to deal with millimeters? Let's actually just look at them, and we do see as we're going down, and we do see our millimeters over here. That's the only one that does, and that has to do with meters, and we are converting from millimeters to meters, so it does make a lot of sense that we'd be using this fact. So how many millimeters is it? Hopefully by now you're saying, oh, it's 1,000 millimeters is equal to what? It's equal to 1 meter. Once again, our units do cancel out, and we're left with meters. We're going from millimeters to meters, and we have meters on the top over here, giving us the indication that we are also done with this problem. When we do this division over here, we do get the answer of 8.9 meters, and basically just telling us that 8,900 millimeters is equal to 8.9 meters.